Hello, Stanny.
Hello.
Welcome to this interview about Transfigura Method.
Yes, welcome. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to be there.
Thank you. And I want to introduce you. This is Stanny Lansloot from Belgium, who has evolved the method Transfigura that I'm working
Yes.
with.
Yeah.
And I am Camilla Andersson from Egen Kraft in Sweden. So this interview will be about the Transfigura method and also about what effects it can have, and also for those who want to study to become a therapist. So, Stanny, I would like to first ask you about the method that what symptoms can be healed and helped and disappear with Transfigura?
Um, I developed the method uh, out of a vision that I had, where I was shown in a very nice way how energy runs through the body and how the bone structure keeps a lot of that energy inside. If you see what it starts in the body, it's a self-healing component, and it makes the energy of the bones more open so that you can use it, reuse it, or use it for the first time, maybe in whatever situation. It means that your body is getting a lot of more energy, and it uses that energy. So if you ask about symptoms, the most important one is that you will feel more relaxed and more calm, and deep inside you will feel more happy. And depending on how open you are, the energy can work deeper and will go to a certain, not transformation, but transfigura means that you really start to look at your with the way you are and how it can be transmutated in a new body. It's like your own body uses the energy to be someone else afterwards, and it means that you're stronger, that certain symptoms of pain or pressure, um, uh, uh, frustration, irritations, on every domain it will change. Some things you
Like also anxiety and
yeah, it's like, because it's you're getting more less depressed, and you are getting more energy and more will to live again. That's and for some is that just something little, but it can be a very big change if you all of a sudden feel that you're not weak anymore, that you have really some good energy, and it works on your brain, it works on all your organs, muscles, tendons, the structure, so it can create everything inside in a new way. So it's endless, and it's a very easy method to do it.
yeah.
So
What
it's
are what are the most common improvements that you see in people?
Oh, the first thing is that the people who are really down in and depressed, that they start to feel that there is a little light more in their life, and that they look forward to get another treatment. Like they feel happier. They sometimes, for the first time, start to laugh in the praxis, that they feel that there's still a possibility to get out of their problems. You
Oh,
can't
that's so
guide them
nice.
all the way, but they really feel it.
They get some hope.
Yeah, they get a lot of hope. Yes.
That's lovely to hear.
Yeah.
And is there any improvement that you feel is the most rare you have experienced?
Uh, yes, there is a strong influence from your past lives in the way you are. You bring qualities to this life, and you bring problems to this life, of course. And sometimes I could see how they were in a past life, and if I see then what kind of difficulties they go through, it's almost the same as that life. And then when I see that they start to change, then all of a sudden those lives are not important anymore. So it's a rare thing to see, like Iman, who was all the times shy because they were shy in that past life. They get more confidence now, and they decide to change profession, and they start to go for. Yeah, I had one who never dared to talk in public, and now she's a radio presentator in Belgium. So it's
That's
fantastic.
really a great improvement.
Yeah,
And
that's
did you tell her? Yeah, definitely. Did you tell her then about what you saw in that past life? And she
yeah.
understood
Afterwards,
and
I
got.
saw what happened there, and
Mm,
then you see also the. That's the nice thing about using the method yourself. You're pushing your fingers, the tops of your fingers, and your own energy. The one who is doing the therapy gets stronger and is more open, and the frequency changes, and your glands in the head are start to working differently.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's it's not rare for me anymore, but was the rarest change.
I can guess so. In just one treatment, then.
In one treatment it can also already change a lot.
Yes, yes, yes. But I was just in detail asking again, like, did you tell her about what during the treatment, what you saw from that past life?
Yeah, I pick up a lot of things if you start a method, and those who learn it, they will see that the body is changing position. A hand is shaking, turning, some shoulders sink down, the feet are more open, and they
Yeah.
don't see it. But you can tell them that they are little by little changing the position of legs and arms and the head, and that it gives more energy flow through the central channel in the body, and
Yeah.
that's the already something that they never experienced before. So
Oh, very interesting.
yes,
Yes. So, can Transfigura also help to release PTSD, trauma?
yeah, you have anyway you have a reaction on whatever is deep inside in the cells, and it then depends a little bit. Transfigura is offering energy from the patient itself to the patient, and
Yes.
it is a little bit depending on how much they dare to open themselves, that it goes very deep. It's certain layers of energy in the body.
Yeah.
Those layers, I give it one example. If you start to be on the earth, then the first thing they allow you to do is to breathe in. And the breathing is, if you see whatever medicine they say, start to change your breathing and the way you breathe in and out, and you will change your healthy condition. So it's the upper layer of energy. And trauma sits in the deepest layer of energy. So you have to really weep out a lot of layers before you go to the depth of that PTSD or whatever deep trauma.
And the customer also has to be motivated to open themselves to meet
If
trauma.
they feel that they are a little bit more happy and that they have a little bit more energy and that they want to go out and be in nature, then they will open deeper and deeper. It's a little bit of trust that they need to have, and it's with all all therapy is like that, but
Yes.
when they see that, yeah, they wonder, does it come back or not? Because I released it now.
Yes.
And that's a little bit depending on how they focus themselves on their life.
So little by little, by doing more
Yeah.
and more
Yeah.
treatments and
Yeah.
feeling more and more safe with your therapist,
Yeah.
then the trauma can be released.
Yeah. And
Bit by bit.
sometimes they even don't know they have that trauma. And so just by cleaning it layer by layer, all of a sudden the deepest layer is available. And
Yes.
then they will hear something on the radio which shocks them, or they see it in a movie, or someone is talking to them and telling a story about something that where they are really involved themselves in the past, and
Okay.
it pops up, and then you can do something with it.
Then they are aware and ready to.
Yeah.
Yes. Is this change permanent?
For oh, you always have a way of living, and if you go on for the next 10 years like that, and I help you in the first year with something, I guarantee you, if you don't change anything, that a year later you have the same problem again.
Yeah.
Even if it's trauma, it's because you activate your life in the same way as you have been doing all the time. So they say if a deer is going to drink at the pool at the same time all the time, it's catched by the lion.
Yeah.
So if you don't change anything, food, behavior, thoughts, where you live, the work you do, then probably you will have the same problem again.
That's
So
interesting, because then it's a cooperation between the patient, client, and the therapist. Yes.
You have to tell them that they don't have to accept the burden that they carry, that it's not it's not permanent. But if they don't understand it or don't want to understand it, it's you can only offer and be patient.
Yes.
And they, for a patient, that
Yes. That's true. Yes. It's to be helpful with when they want to change and support.
yeah.
Good. Can you explain how you do a treatment with Transfigura?
For me, in the beginning, when I didn't know anything about Transfigura, and I had to give a massage to people, then I was just concentrating on the material things like tissue and muscles, and trying to stimulate it and to get more blood flow through it, and didn't know anything about energy. But then little by little I started to see that doing less of the massage but more of touching certain parts of the bone structure, the body started to react differently. So now when someone comes in and let them explain what they have as a problem, then they lay down on their back, and I put one hand underneath the kidneys, and this is your ancestral energy which is located there, and then I can feel if they are empty or not. 80% of the people with such a real trouble in their body have empty kidneys. So then I have to talk with them how they managed to be so weak in the kidneys. Where did they give the energy away? And the first thing can be then that the parents didn't support the child, and that you had to use your own energy too early. And in the treatment, then I try to connect the bone structure with the kidneys so that they are loaded slowly. And then I put one hand somewhere on the legs to see if the flow of energy in the body is really going all the way through the legs to up and down. And then I can check, oh, this is enough. Now I have to change the position. And the position of the hands on the bone structure, that's Transfigura, is depending on how what they say that they have as pain or changing positions, or they move a certain part of the body all the time. Then I go there and just connect points, but I'm not pushing it in a certain direction. I don't want to heal them. They have to heal by their own energy that is floating better. And I stay out of the process. I just watch. So the rest of the treatment is finding the spots that they offer me or where they show there's a trouble. Then I put fingers there. And then I can talk about what I feel there. And that's what you need to develop when you're doing Transfigura. Your hands are used all the time, your fingers, and the fingers stimulate your own awareness, your own deep heart energy. And that is used to do the diagnosis then. But it's not that you say it is like that, but you feel like more pressure there or less pressure somewhere. And if you can see the aura, then you can tell that it's changing. If you hear or smell things, then you will say, oh, now it's better. Before I had such a very strange smell coming out of that area. So it depends a little bit on interaction, patient, and the therapist.
So you evolve as a therapist and get more, the more you do get Transfigura treatments yourself, the more senses you evolve to be able to feel and see. Yeah.
But that should be the experience factor. And one of my first teachers said, the body is a piano. And if you want to hear good music, then you have to touch the right points and the right structure to get the good music. And good music is health, he says. So if you're just doing something without knowing what you're doing, then you have result. But if you can really specify certain parts and go to certain parts, then you get fantastic music and they will feel happy and they more healthy. So that's the you as a therapist evolve from just cleaning the skin, and the next level you go a little bit deeper, and at the end you're just really transfiguring. It's like you make a new body, but it takes a while to go there.
Yes.
I had to take also I get the information of that vision in the 90s, and so it took me 10 years more to really understand what is happening here. And now I'm glad it's a wrong word, but I can play with the energy. It means that if some part is needed energy, then I can just stimulate it a little bit and see if it's going to the spot that they want it. But if not, then I accept it. It's not that you have pain in your chin that I put my hands there and go there. It can be that I am starting to work on your little toe, twist it like hell and push and pull, and that all of a sudden you don't feel the pain anymore here. But it depends on how open the structure is and the flow of energy.
Yes, and also how strong the therapist is to be able to
do because it's not easy to stay out of the process and just watch it happen and keep your energy in balance all the time.
Yeah. Thank you, Stanley.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, not everyone has heard this about the vision. So how did it all start? Can you tell us some in short? It was in the 70s you told me about that you went to a Shiatsu course and got help.
I was already I think 20 years in Shiatsu, doing really strong Shiatsu, and I was invited to teach in Switzerland a weekend course about how to balance the back with Shiatsu. And I slept in a chalet in the mountains all alone. And one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I got visitors in my room. I saw samurai in full war equipment. And I thought, yeah, this is a fantastic dream, but I could touch them, and I said, this is very special. So I put my clock, waking clock, somewhere else in the room and say, if it's moved, then I have been out of my bed and put it away somewhere. So then it will be real, I think. So 3 times I awoke that night. I saw the guys again. And what I saw around the samurai and all the joints, I could see the energy turning out and in, like if you want to empty a bottle of wine, that screw it was shown around the body everywhere it was. And I thought, this is something. I see the energetic reloading of the bodies. And in the morning I woke up and I thought, what happened tonight? And then I saw my clock not next to my bed but somewhere else. I said, this is strange. And then I had to start the Shiatsu class in the morning, and I told people I don't know what to do because I get such a strange night and visit, and I don't want to give Shiatsu anymore. But we had 50 people there coming for the training, and so I said to them, I will see what I can do. Give me a few hours, I will give something new. And I tried to imagine how this energy around the wrist and everywhere could be activated, that I could see it and I could feel it. And I managed to do that with starting at the big toe. And I had to wait, I think, 5 minutes. And that's a long time if you close your eyes and are waiting for information. And then I heard a voice say to me, just start the energy and do it in this way. So it was fantastic to see that it worked. And I was happy that in that class there was a clairvoyant lady who explained after every exercise that I did to me what I actually did, what happened in the joint that I was. So then I got approval how nice it was to use that new method.
And how did the client or the one you were treating, how did he or she react?
The one who was giving a treatment, just 5 minutes, started to use bumping of the leg all the time on the floor. And she had a car accident with a metal plate in the leg, and that plate started to move.
Oy.
And a few years later, she had to remove the plate, and now she has no metal in the body anymore. So.
But still working, huh?
Yeah.
That's amazing, Stanny.
Yeah.
And I also want to ask, where I know that you have since then been channeled when you had courses and so on, that you got more points and more ways of starting the energy and so on.
Yeah.
And where do you think this information comes from?
I think that my mother was very Catholic, and she took me to the church to be a servant when I was a little boy.
Yeah.
And I always saw things, very special things everywhere, but I didn't know what it was. So, and by being a lot in the church, I started to see in certain spots very strange things and couldn't understand until one of the priests was standing in front of a white wall, and there I could see like a tower of gold yellow energy above the priest, and he was really a very good man. And then I saw other creatures around him, like the angels who were supporting him. And then I think I started to talk with my own angels and my guides, and they gave me a lot of trust to go on like that. One of the first classes of Shiatsu afterwards, I was teaching in Belgium. There was a clairvoyant lady, and she said all the time what kind of support I had, the guide that I was there, and depending on the question in the group, there was someone else coming and telling me, but I didn't hear anything at that moment. But in a way, I was really saying what they really gave us information. And when that was told me, I thought, yeah, now it's so much confidence in what I'm doing and so much trust that I start to use that energy all the time.
Yeah.
And I think everybody has this power and this possibility, but yeah, you were said too many times you can't do that, and that's not yours. What do you think you are that you're doing that and telling me these stories? So, and then you keep your mouth shut for some years, and then it comes out at a certain moment.
I've also heard that you sometimes said that it might come from Lemuria and from Atlantis.
Yeah, it's I have memories, and I saw in many dreams things from Atlantis, from the Incas, from all old civilizations, and Lemuria was one of them also. So, and I started to meet people who have been there also, like friends that I have now.
Yeah.
And I know one from Lemuria, the other one is an Inca, and I wanted just before New Year, I wanted to meet a shaman. And I think 2 or 3 days later, by coincidence, you know what it means.
Yes.
I was going to a painting gallery, and Indians made paintings there, and I was so touched by them. And then no one was there, so a few days later, I go with my wife there, and they were all packed, all the paintings except one, and that was from a shaman. And then the man was there, and he said, "Oh, I was waiting until someone was coming to buy this last that I didn't pack, so I bought it." So it was shaman, the oldest shaman of the Amazon part of Brazil, and it was fantastic. So you're guided to it, eh?
Yeah. Thank you, Stanny. I wanted to ask some questions also. I see the time is running out here a little bit, like we have 10 or 13 minutes left, but I will try to make it short. So if you want to become a therapist of Transfigura, what do you have to have before? Do you have to be good at channeling, or do you have to have a psychology exam?
No. The only thing you need to have is a good heart.
Yeah, thank you.
That's the most important. Anything else? Sometimes you have too much knowledge to just step out in the treatment. I mean, you're supporting someone, and if you support too much, then you get other results than when you're not supporting. But if you make the energy free in their body that they can use it, that's the biggest support. But then most of the people are starting to think about what they learned and how they could use it now to free the body more. And that's just not done in Transfigura. You really have to accept what is happening there.
Yeah. And also maybe listening and watch,
Yeah.
to be able to
Yeah,
just,
but if you have a good heart, then that is all there.
yeah. That's very, very fine. Thank you, Stanny.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you also something about entities. Should we talk
Yeah.
about, do you want to talk about that? Some people get entities in their body, and Transfigura
Yeah.
can help with that too.
I don't say it will be the solution, but if you're very sensitive yourself, then you can guide the energy really into the heart of people, and that they can decide that they don't want like a parasite somewhere in your aura. Whatever, if it's an entity, it's okay, but most of the time it's someone who died, who passed away, and is not happy that he is gone, and looks for a soul on the earth to really be able to do something more on the earth, because they think it's not finished yet. But then they get stuck and can't go away anymore. So you have to really help them, and the best is that you just do a few treatments, that the legs are open, and then you can talk with them and say, okay, now let it go. Imagine that it's going away. And there are only three possibilities for the entity to go: is through the legs, through the feet, and through the hands, or above to the head. But it's better that it's guided in a different way. So, but it's
I thought it was from the navel.
yeah, it's part of it.
Okay. Because I also feel like this is something that you evolve as a therapist.
Yeah.
It's not the first thing you do, but after a
No.
while you have the sensitivity, and maybe you have seen your teacher doing it or another
Yeah,
therapist,
yeah,
and then you suddenly get a client, and then
yeah.
you're ready to do it then.
You
Yeah.
have always to be humble. Whatever
Yes.
happens, it's not
Yeah.
you that is the master here. You're just
Oh,
a servant of the energies, and
yeah. And do you also feel that your students get the clients that they are capable to help?
but that's always. There is a
Yes.
saying
Mm.
that no bird is flying higher than the wings can carry them. So
Yeah.
if you
Mm.
don't force anything, you just get those who need to come to you.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
and
guided in another way than
Yeah, and sometimes it's even that they come to show you that you have a problem. Like if
yeah.
in a week
Yeah.
time 5 people come with lung problems, then maybe check your own lungs.
Yes, some thoughts, some things have happened like that. Same patient having the same thing after
Yeah.
three patients in a row, like same thing.
I say that sometimes in the class. Okay, I said this weekend. I said uh, I was um, correcting someone in a very positive way, and I said at the end, is he saying to himself also? So I was telling not only to someone, hey, you have to be careful with that and that and that, and then I'm saying it to myself also. I said so
Ah,
because you feel that
yeah.
it's not a coincidence that it happens there. So
No. So the therapist gets treatment at the same time.
yeah,
That's why it's so nice to
yeah,
give Transfigura
yeah,
also.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
That's how I feel too, Stanley.
yeah, yeah.
So then I also wanted to make maybe a strange question, but you have known me for like 20 years,
Yes.
23. And
Yeah.
what is the biggest change you can see in me since you met me
Yeah.
first time?
If I see someone from the first time, I see what the qualities are inside, and uh, yeah, the which way they can go to reach that point, and that changes the way they talk, behavior, the way they ask for attention, that they can be quiet, that they accept sometimes a no, and that they really take it all the time back to in self-reflection to themselves. And if I look at you, the only thing I can say that was the traumas that you had, or whatever that you had from your past, was seen not only in the aura but also in your face. It was more. You should watch photos from yourself 20 years ago. It was more cramped, the face.
Yeah.
So, and now it's an open face. So it means that you released a lot of things that needed to go away.
Yeah.
It's not that you have to learn something in those 20 years.
No.
You only have to stop doing things that you don't need to do.
Yes, those behaviors, yeah. Yes. So I think we have to end now. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's time to say goodbye, Stanny. Is there something you want to
No, I'm happy that you're doing great and doing the classes in Sweden. I found now someone, I think also here in Belgium, that would maybe go for it. I don't know yet, but anyway, you're doing great.
Thank you, Stanny. And we can also say that if you want to become a therapist, you can learn in Belgium from you. You can go in Austria.
Not so often anymore.
Not so
in
often,
Belgium.
no? Okay.
No.
So in Sweden
and in Austria, it's advanced classes for people. They are doing all those classes all 25 years. And so, like I went to Sweden for so many years also.
Yes. All right. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
For being with us and telling your story. And I feel energized. I'm so warm on my cheeks. So thank you for the energy you bring to this world and for channeling and for listening to your heart, Stanny. I'm so proud.
But you do that also. That's the nice thing.
Yes. Thank you, Stanny. Thank you. Thank you for tonight. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.